Dice is on the beat.
All right. We are back in the building with another episode of the Duval podcast, man. Duval. We back in the building, baby. So
what's going on?
Another week, another dollar. Marcus is repping Stillwater today for some reason.
You already know.
He is a Gator fan.
It's college day, man. You got the FSU, the bum SU.
Yep. You know, we feeling good. We're feeling good. All right.
Sir.
First off, first sip.
Shout out to Coors.
Shout out to Coors Light. Not sponsored.
We should probably blank out the thing, but
Not
you already
sponsored,
know.
but refreshing.
Yes,
Thank you.
sir. Nothing like a cold beer hitting the back of your throat.
All right. So let's get into it. So today we're going to be talking about the schedule that was just released
Yes, sir.
last week,
Yes, sir.
last Thursday. So today is Monday.
Yes,
Happy
sir.
Monday to everybody.
Happy Monday.
Hoping everybody had a great weekend this past weekend.
Happy Mother's Day.
Happy Mother's Day. A great Mother's Day weekend.
Yeah.
How was it with your mom? Did you
Man,
guys spend some time?
Man, it was we always spend time every weekend. So like every weekend is like Mother's Day,
Right.
for our family. But we did a nice little family dinner with like the aunts and all that stuff on Saturday. And,
Amazing.
You know, just chilled out
Yep.
yesterday. So it was a good Mother's Day.
Love it. Yeah. So me, I'm the guy who's always working. So
Yeah.
I sent the money. I said, hey, you take your mama.
You
Y'all
acknowledge,
go have a nice Mother's Day, right?
All right.
Take the son. Y'all go have a nice Mother's Day. Eat whatever you want. Enjoy yourself. But
Yeah.
Daddy got to go.
Yeah.
Daddy got to get it.
Hey, you acknowledged them, so
That's it. That's it.
That's what
Everybody got a happy Mother's Day. I wasn't doing the post this year though.
No.
I said to
no.
self, I'm not doing the post this year. Some felt some kind of way, but I was like, hey, I'm not doing the post. I'm not doing this for other people.
Yeah,
Right?
for sure.
If you know that I tell you that you're a great mom every day, my mom, grandmas, everybody,
Yeah.
right? I'm telling you that. I'm not gonna. I've never been a big like posty like
Me either.
lovey-dovey social
Yeah.
media guy,
Right.
but like,
All right.
sometimes it's warranted and you got to do that. But
Yeah.
I didn't feel it. Anyways, just a thought.
Yeah.
I feel like that goes through everybody's mind. It's like,
I'm the
dang,
same
am
way.
I late or should I, let
Is
me
this the year to pose?
let me go through and find the perfect photo of me and my mom,
Yeah.
even though we haven't taken a picture in a long time. You know what I mean? It's
Right.
like the whole thing.
Yeah. No, I'm with you.
And
on
then
that.
and then you forget you posted the one that you're posting this year, last year. So you just start recycling pictures
Right,
and it's a
right.
whole thing.
Right. No, I'm
But,
with you on that.
But I feel like everybody had a great Mother's Day. I mean,
Yeah.
we didn't hear anything bad. So nothing bad happened yesterday for the most part.
Thank you.
In national news. Thank you. Everybody
you.
was. Nobody was acting up yesterday.
No, not for moms.
Everybody
Moms told y'all to put
everybody
everything down.
everybody took their medicine. They were feeling good. Okay, cool. All right, so all right, let's get into the schedule. So we are going to be talking about the schedule today. Me and him are going to give our win-loss total. So he'll give you his, I'll give you mine,
Yeah.
and we'll see where we at, how we're feeling about our Jags. So they put out the rookie pitcher, and Anton looked like he was probably the biggest one out of the bunch. So.
Right.
I feel like maybe that's a good thing if Anton's the biggest person out of our draft class, but I wasn't. Let's just say I was unimpressed, but I am a Jags fan. They are Jaguars.
Yeah.
Now we're fully behind them.
Oh,
We're
yeah.
just saying we got to see it, right? We're super excited. I mean, I've heard some people I've heard some of the local guys kind of giving the Jags a lot of love. Some national guys giving them some love.
Mm-hmm.
Colin Cowherd gave them. I think he said they would go. They would be the number 1 seed in the AFC, which is what he said. And I'm like, stop hyping us like that, bro. I don't want that.
We
hype.
don't need it.
I don't want it. I don't want that hype, bro.
And let's keep in mind, Colin says the most asinine
Colin says a lot of
stuff.
stuff,
He
right.
says a lot of asinine stuff.
Right.
Yeah, I think especially with us too, I think we're more realistic fans. I think we say that probably every episode.
For sure. It's important. It's
It's-
important to be realistic. I feel
Yeah.
like there's a lot of like crazy like fan people, and I'm like, dog, we ain't been good at for a long time, and like we've been very spotty good. So before 2018, we weren't good for a long time. And the way we built our roster, was not sustainable.
Yeah.
So we weren't good after that. right? And we ended up with the number 1 pick 2 years in a row. So I think that just kind of goes and has something to say about how stuff's been going lately. And it's like, as soon as we get a little bit of success, so we're the best, we're this, we're that. And I'm like, dude, like, I don't subscribe to that.
And things change so quickly, man. Like, think about like that same scenario, man. Like, just think about how quickly contracts started to come up and who the guys we were keeping and the guys we didn't keep, and think about the wrong decisions we did, albeit a different general manager.
Right.
But yeah, like, things can change that quick, man. And like you said, man, we weren't that good. Not to say we weren't that good,
right?
But
we were good. We were good last year, but we were a 9-8 team.
We're a 9-8 team. How many comebacks did we have?
We were down 27-7 in our first home playoff game in a long time. Yeah. So it's we got a lot. We took the first step. We got a lot of learning to do. We did much better in the KC game. Yeah. That game was pretty competitive. Mm-hmm. But we won't rehash that. We've hashed that a good amount of times. Yes, yeah. We don't like living in the past here. So all right, let's kind of pull up these the schedule and see what we got here. So, and we'll kind of just go through it.
Well, before you say that, like, is there like a game that kind of jumped out to you that I know we kind of talked about like the game that
screamed to me, that just absolutely screamed from the top of the hilltops, was the Chiefs Week 2 at home.
Oh yeah,
that one there was a banger, bro.
That's gonna be like the what year was so that had to be the year after we made the playoffs, that Patriot game. Do you remember that game?
Yeah, I remember that. That game was packed, and we won that game.
And we won. So I'm kind of anticipating that kind of
Little
energy.
did we know that was the beginning of the end, but
that was like our last win.
Great day for the Jaguars.
That was like our last win and like 9 in a row losses or something like that. So hopefully that doesn't happen, but that game definitely for sure. I'm like, man, like that could be our Patriot game from that year before, like that cliche revenge game or whatever. And, the TIAA it's gonna be rocking, man. I love that stadium when it's rocking, man.
That game is when we're gonna have our most epic tailgate. That tailgate's gonna be epic. Second week of the season.
We're gonna be out there.
We're gonna be locked in early.
We're gonna be early.
We're gonna have the old heads out there gonna be having a crab pot.
Yeah.
It's gonna be that. It's gonna be. We're gonna have the oysters. It's gonna be the
peanuts gonna be busting.
It's gonna be that kind of. Even when we don't go to the game, that is gonna be that kind of day.
Yeah. The atmosphere is gonna be so crazy.
It's gonna be great. Because Patrick Mahomes they haven't played here, right? No.
He hasn't.
KC hasn't played with Mahomes here as a whole. We haven't gotten that game, right? Okay, so
first trip to Duval.
Man. First trip to Duval, and so. If you're asking me, that's the game that jumped off the page to me. What about you?
It would probably be. It's definitely later in the season, but it's the Ravens game.
Okay.
Just because, like, that's probably a potential playoff, matchup.
Playoff implications.
Yeah, so, it'll be interesting to see, where our record is. I kind of predicted that as, like, one of those primetime flex games. Like, if we're good, stay there. If we're not good, it'd probably be like a 1 o'clock game, But, if all things are going well, that's a playoff game towards the end of the year. So, I'm looking forward to that.
Yeah. So... All right, so another one that jumps off at me, right? The Bengals game on is that Sunday night or is that I think that's Monday night.
That might be a Monday nighter.
That's Monday,
and then the Ravens are Sunday night.
Yeah, I believe that's a Monday.
That game's that's Monday night. That's sticking.
That's
sticking.
Yeah, that's only game on. Hopefully, they be trying to like double do game, but I think in December too they usually do that, but I think we'll probably have the sole game.
That's going to be a big game too. Like that's what maybe.
I think that's going to be. I think that's going to be seeding, like contention seeding. Those are going to be must-win games.
That's going to be. Yeah, that's definitely going to be who's going to if they match up in the playoffs, who's going to have the home.
Who's going to be home?
Yeah. Dude, that's a big game. That's going to be a big game. And also just a quick one, the Thursday nighter in New Orleans.
Okay,
like I thought that was a pretty interesting little twist or whatever.
Yeah.
I think David Carr may have a little quote unquote revenge on his mind or whatever, but
And New Orleans be rocking, bro.
Be rocking.
Yeah.
So I really like our schedule, but like the teams we're playing at home and the road games, we're not traveling far from the West Coast or from the East Coast.
Yep.
So
hold on real quick. Go ahead, keep going. I'm gonna fix this shadow real quick.
But like everything, I think is kind of working out in the Jaguars' favor. Like the Kansas City games early in the season. The Buffalo game that's going to be in London, the second of back-to-backs. That's like kind of towards like the middle of the season, and then those Bengals and Ravens games are like kind of closer to the end of the season. So I think everything kind of balanced out schedule-wise, where you have that extra fluff to just in case you lose those games, you could improve your record in between those tough games.
Correct. Feel it. So all right, great. So let's kind of go down here. Let's see what we got. So let's start week 1. We got Jaguars versus Colts in Indy. So does Anthony Richardson start week 1?
Of course. And that's a dub for the Jaguars.
That's a dub for the Jags. Okay. All right. I feel good about that game. Feel good about that game overall. Obviously a lot of people were saying this, the team's going to look a lot different than it does now.
Yeah.
So we'll either feel much better or worse after we go through this. So, all right. So that's a dub.
Yeah.
I think we're in consensus that that's a dub. All right. So moving on, week 2, Chiefs, Jaguars, Jags at home. Home opener.
I'm going to say a dub.
It's going to be a lot of Duval. It's going to be a lot of Duval in there.
It's going to be a lot of Kansas City.
It's going to be a lot of Duval. It's going to be some serious Duvaling on the week 2, man. It's going to be out, bro. We're going to see the city out like I feel like we haven't seen it.
There's going to be a buzz around the city.
Vengeance, yeah.
It's going to be a buzz around the city. But I think a win, not because I think we're better, but I just think, we're going to catch them early in the season. It's a home game.
Yep.
All the reasons we laid out earlier, like the crowd's going to be rocking. You're going to hope for Kansas City to not be on their A game early on in the season.
Gotcha. That's what we're hoping for. Yeah. That we just catch them kind of pants down.
Yeah. Like definitely like one of those maybe Mahomes throws like a key interception or something like that.
Yep. I like it. He'll be ready to play though. That's for sure.
No, for sure.
We'll have to weather a storm or two. Sure. All right, so you got Texans, Jags at home.
Mm-hmm.
I like the Jags in that game. Back-to-back home games.
Yeah,
so if we don't beat the Chiefs, the Texans are going to get the smoke. If we do beat the Chiefs, not the Cheeks.
They're definitely not Cheeks. They're definitely not Cheeks. They clapping.
Yeah. If we beat, so if we don't, either way, the Texans getting smoked after that game. Okay. So then we got the Falcons at home, and the Falcons are
in London.
Falcons are in London that game. Yeah. So, but we don't have them. They're not technically at home, but it's a home game. So, all right, I think that's a dub. Yeah. So,
well, okay. So, let me amend one of my games because, that's tough to say. We're gonna be 4-0.
Yeah.
I'm gonna stick with my Chiefs pick. I'm gonna say we get a letdown with the Texans. Letdown city. Texans play us tough. Like I don't care what their record is, they play us tough every time.
D'Amico gonna have them ready to play.
Yeah, and it's gonna be much of the same, like how they played last year when they came to Jacksonville, where there's a lot of Damian Pierce and just good defense.
Yep, heard.
So,
okay.
Yeah, so it's tough to say we'll be 4-0. So yeah, I'll say that.
Okay,
3-1.
Heard. 3-1. So you don't like the Texans? Okay, I'm gonna go 4-0. You're going 3-1. All right. So after that, we got the Bills, another back-to-back London game. That's gonna be a slugfest.
I say we won that one.
We win that one. I like it. Yeah, I like it. Then you got the Jaguars, Colts. That's a dub. That's a dub at home.
The Colts aren't giving me reasons to pick them.
They don't have no wideouts, bro. Yeah. They don't have no weapons, no nothing. Yeah. If all we got to stop is Jonathan Taylor, I think we could do that.
Man, it's tough, man. 5-1.
5-1.
Probably 6-1.
This is 6-1 at this point.
Yeah, Saints.
All right, so then we got the Saints.
I'm going to say the Saints beat us, man.
Yeah, I think that's going to be an L in Nolia.
Just because it's Thursday night.
I think the Steelers. You think we beat the Steelers? I think the Steelers is an L. It's a L, bro. I think
be surprised.
I think they're gonna have Pickett playing better. They got him a little bit more weapons with Darnell Washington at tight end.
Yeah.
He's got Freiermuth. He's got Deontay Johnson, Pickens, Najee Harris. So they're the Steelers been quietly like kind of stacking, and I like Pickett, bro. Pickett's
he's solid.
He's solid. He's not like the top of the line, but I feel like he could take that next step because I feel like he's got a little bit of that Ben in him though. He's got a little bit of that Big Ben in him.
Yeah.
Where he could take that next step.
He showed a lot last year. Like I was like, he impressed me.
He could take that next step. Not being like he could be in the top 15.
He could be Kirk Cousins-esque.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Maybe a little bit more moxie. I don't know.
Definitely more moxie.
Yeah.
Like, I think guys would love playing for
Pickett.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So you're giving a dub. So I'm at this point. I am.
We like 5-2, 6-2.
Yeah. Yep.
6-2 in my books, and then we're gonna lose to the Niners.
We're lose to the Niners.
6-3.
6-3. Okay. I had us with back-to-back losses here, so I think we were 5 and.
Undefeated.
Yeah, we were undefeated up until the Saints for me. So.
Like 7-2.
Yeah. So I think we got 3 losses in a row. You don't think we'll beat? I think we'll beat the Niners at home. I mean, who's playing quarterback? Brock Purdy.
I don't know. Like
Trey Lance.
Even with that said, Debo, C-Mac.
I don't like them, bro.
Their defense worries me a little bit more than the offense per se.
D'Amico gone.
Yeah, but they still got the Bosa.
Yeah,
they got Warner.
Yep.
They got. I don't know who's in there.
Okay. So close game, but I still don't like. They still need a quarterback. I'm not sold. I feel like Purdy's a system guy. We don't know how he did tear his tore his labrum or something like that. Yeah. So he's coming off, or he tore something in his elbow.
Yeah, he had like that Tommy John or something.
Yeah, so we don't know how he's going to be coming off of that, and we don't know what their plans are with Trey Lance. So I think right now I like the Jaguars at home for that game. Okay. So I'm going to give them at that point that'll be 7-3. You were 6-3. You're giving the Jags what?
So that's like 6-4.
6-4. Okay. And then the Titans at home. Give us the dub on that.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. All right. So
Texans
8-3, 7-4. Okay.
We win that one.
Jaguars Texans. Texans. Okay. So we're split. We split in your book. So you're 8-4. I'm 9-3. Okay. Bengals Jags at home. Sunday Monday night.
God, the bank is gonna be rocking.
Bank gonna be rocking, bro.
It's hard to go against the bank. Like I don't think.
I feel like the bank is becoming like it's becoming an advantage, right? That we didn't necessarily have.
I was just gonna say, like, I don't think our fans are mostly Jaguars fans, so they get it a little bit more. But man, when the bank is rocking,
yes,
purely one, albeit I haven't been in all the NFL stadiums, but man, like when the bank is rocking, man, I love it.
It's rocking.
I love it.
Preach, brother.
I love it.
Preach. You're preaching. Okay.
But the Bengals game, man, that's so tough to call. I'm gonna say we lose that game. Joe's gonna do some Joe-ish stuff.
8-5.
Yeah.
They don't have Mixon anymore.
They don't, but man, it's hard to count out Joseph.
You still think they got enough? Okay.
Like Joseph and
yeah,
Mr. Joseph and Mr. Chase and Mr. Higgins.
Okay.
That's a tough squad to be in their they lost Jesse Bates on the defensive side, but
all right, I'm following you there. Okay.
Joe's tough.
Cool. So you're saying L. I'm gonna say a dub on that. So I'm gonna go 10-3.
I don't even know.
You're 8-5. I'm 10-3.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay. Yep. And then the Browns come into town. No, we're on the road. I feel like I don't know. I feel like that could be a. They got Zadarius Smith on D. They got I think that might be it. I'll give us an L on that one for me. 10-4. You're at 9-5. 9-5. Okay, and then Ravens at home. Dub. I like it. Okay. 11-4. You're 10-5. Yep.
Dub.
Jaguars, Bucks. Yep. 12. So I'm at 12-4. You're at
11-5.
You're 11-5.
Jeez, we're a good team.
Yeah.
Golly.
Yep.
And the Panthers to close it out. Well, no, we got 2 more games.
Panthers and
how good
Titans.
is Bryce Young gonna be playing by that point?
I like the Jags. Well, it depends on what we're playing for.
Yeah,
it just depends on what we're playing for.
It depends what we're playing for. How good Bryce Young playing at. I'm gonna go out on a.
I think we'll have to. I think how I've seen Doug Peterson. I think we even played in a game we didn't have to this year. So, I think
if
we go for it, I think
I think probably at that time. So around that time last season, that was the Texans, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I think probably if our record's indeed 10-5, 11-4 around that time, that gives us the room to maybe rest some guys.
I don't think so. I think you're gonna have to win probably 13 or 14 to get the number one seed.
Yeah, it depends on what the seeding's looking like. But
yeah,
man, I'm just for the sake of just trying to be real, man. Like how we're lining it up, we're gonna have a good team.
Yeah, I'm gonna go 13-5 to finish out like these last 2 games. I think we lose the last game. I think
we're gonna lose one of those, either the Panthers or the Titans.
So you're 12 and 6. You're 12-5. Wait.
Oh, either I'm 12-5 or 11-6.
I think you're 12-5, and I think
you're 13-4.
Yeah,
we're gonna have a good team, bro.
Yeah, I'm 13-4. Our math is bad.
Our math is bad. Like
too many games, bro. That's a lot of games.
But
all right.
But
either way, we're a playoff team. Either way, so how it shakes out.
So that's a little. I'm gonna be honest, a little scary for me.
Yeah, it's
because realistically, I was really at maybe 14-3.
Yeah.
Like there was a couple games where I said, man, like we have to lose one.
Somebody gave us 16-1, bro. Like that's crazy.
But there's valid.
That's
reasons
healthy.
To
that's
win.
If we're healthy. This is understand. This is healthy. This is barring any setbacks. Yeah. Best case scenario. Likely if we're healthy. I just think we're gonna be. I think bro, we just got too many weapons, bro.
I think the key for us, what happened with our last playoff team. I think that last playoff team, you'd like to come in with that confidence and swagger, of course, right? But I think, they kind of rested on that. Like, hey, we were a top such and such defense. We're going to do it again. We can't have that. We have to have that mindset of, hey, it's nice to win a division, but we're trying to be a championship team. You know what I'm saying? And
right.
I just think if we come into, this off-season program and, we really working, you know what I'm saying? I think that really bodes well for our team.
Correct. We got to get that work, dog.
Yeah.
Ultimately, we got to get that work.
Again,
is what we saying.
Again, I really hope Doug is really saying, he doesn't strike me as a Gus Bradley type of coach, and that's not, being disrespectful to Gus, but Gus was a guy.
No disrespect.
Gus was a guy, hey, he's a pat you on the back type of guy, when you're having a bad day and stuff like that. Even when things aren't good.
What's up, Shiner?
Yeah,
how you doing, buddy?
He'll add a little fluff.
I'll put a little bit on the end of that. On the end of it, yeah.
And I think Doug, he's a guy that, he's a fun guy to play for.
Yeah.
But he'll also give you the real as well. And I think we need the real to, keep flowing through the locker room.
Gotta have the real, bro. I think that's one of the main reasons why we've done so good is that he's a player's coach. I've heard this time and time and again from different people in national media, national radio, is that he just the way he knows how to handle his team. Tom Coughlin even said as much when he was on a talk show, just saying he doesn't know if he would even be able to coach a team, like Doug Peterson does, or be able to kind of bring everything back together because his coaching style is so different. It's not for 2023. It's for 2009 or 2008 or you know what I mean?
Yeah.
A 90s type style. And it's great to talk about the old times and all that stuff, and I love it. But it's a new time, man. And I think the way that I feel about this team, I think a lot of people are going to – that won't be the highlights of Jaguars history. Yeah. Those will not be the highlights.
It's definitely a new
of Jaguars history. It's a
definitely
new guard.
era.
I mean, we're
It's
talking
definitely
about
a new era.
sustainability for 10 years, like 10, 15 years.
Everything that needs to be in place is in, like, besides maybe you could argue like the GM portion, but we have the owner.
Yeah.
We have the coach. We have the quarterback. We're getting the players.
I honestly think it's going to be really hard to get Balky out of here if the Jaguar even if
no, for sure.
If they're going 12 and whatever, 13, it's going to be hard to fire your GM, right? Yeah. I think if you get to a certain point where you're 3-4 years down the line and the Jaguars have gotten to the AFC title, maybe twice, and I think they're going to get there. I think they're going to get there probably 2 times in the next 4 years. I think they're in the next 4 years. I think the Jaguars will be either in the Super Bowl or at least to an AFC championship, and maybe as soon as next year, depending on what they do on defense. It just depends, bro. They were a game away, bro, and they were really a touchdown away. You know what I'm saying? So if we put it all in perspective, when you say that, it's not that big of a deal because they were 2 touchdowns away from being in the AFC championship and maybe playing for a Super Bowl in a improbable year where we thought it was rebuilding. But that's just the magic of Doug Peterson and what he can do for your franchise, and having a franchise quarterback and not having a stopgap guy and doing this and doing that, and it's really nice, man. It's a really good feeling.
And just to piggyback on what you're saying, man, like we talk about the we're not as good as people may think or anything like that, but you said it perfectly, man. We're 1 or 2 plays away from maybe being in the Super Bowl, and you could argue it on the other side. We're 1 or 2 plays away from maybe picking in the top 10 again. You know what I'm saying?
You're not lying.
So I think like we mentioned, like coaching is so important, just that consistency and just really taking advantage of the moment. I think a lot of Jaguar teams would have said, hey, like we made the playoffs.
It's just good enough.
We're good enough. But I think, just with the times now and, just the hype around these players now, like you're not just happy winning a division's an afterthought. Like just, you're happy to sneak into the playoffs and, try to help make a run or whatever. So I just think, for us, we have to always be thinking big picture. Like we can't rest on our laurels.
As fans, as coaches, as an organization, we have to have that thinking. I think
we can't be satisfied at all. Like
that's it.
Like none of these teams. Like I'm also a Cowboy fan. We're not satisfied with winning a division.
Right.
Like you know what I'm saying? Like it's Super Bowl or but. Like a lot of these teams, a lot of these historical teams are Super Bowl or bust, and Jaguars aren't historical, but that should be the mindset.
Yeah, now that we're in our window now, probably just entering that window, which is crazy, and it might be, and it'll be extended because we have our quarterback. So whoever we have, we should be able to win with, and I think that's the idea.
And sign the guys that we need. Like let's not sign the guy that had a big season last year and not like, oh, let's keep him, or like let's really evaluate the guys on this team. Like, hey, we need to lock up Tyson Campbell, Andre Sisco. I think we have the opportunity to do T-Law if we wanted to.
Yeah.
So I really think, just locking up those core guys and just really doing that scouting and all that stuff and, just building the right way, I think we'll be all right.
I think we'll wrap on that, man.
Nope.
That's our show for today, guys. You heard it first. We appreciate you guys.
Pretty good analysis.
Yeah. I was like, hey, let's break it down on that.
Pretty good analysis.
We appreciate you guys for joining us, man.
Dice is on.